Hello everyone, I'm John Evanson and I'd like to welcome you to the Parent Information Meeting for your Start Smart Sports Development Program. You and your child are about to begin an amazing journey into the world of youth sports, and we are here to help make sure your child gets off to a great start. For more than 20 years now, the Start Smart program has been used nationwide to help children learn and develop basic motor skills needed for a smooth transition into organized sports programs. And with you participating right alongside them throughout the program, you'll gain incredible insight on the best ways to teach and support your youngster. Plus, you're both going to have a lot of fun. A National Alliance for Youth Sports study found that 49% of children ages 5 to 10 who are already participating in organized sports programs did not have the motor skills needed to be successful. So this program will be incredibly valuable to your child. The study also found that those kids who are provided motor skill instruction in a fun and supervised setting are more likely to be ready to step in to an organized program. Your Start Smart Participant Manual has lots of great information, including activities and performance cues, so you can continue participating with your child at home at the conclusion of the program. Your coordinator will take you through the specifics of the program and what you can expect in the upcoming sessions. So now we're going to share with you important information on what it means to be a model youth sports parent, because as you navigate the youth sports landscape, you want to be one of those parents who are supportive and encouraging to all young athletes, and not one of those out-of-control moms or dads you hear about on the news or read about in social media whose outrageous behavior affects the game day experience for the kids and at times puts the safety of others in jeopardy when it escalates to violence. It all starts with having the right mindset as you head into your child's season. Your focus should be on whether your child is having fun with the sport, not whether they're winning games or turning in perfect performances. Get in the habit of asking your child if they had fun following a game. If they did, follow up to find out what they enjoyed the most. And if they didn't, find out why so you can work together to help make the experience more enjoyable for them. Now, part of being a great youth sports parent comes with knowing these important goals that you should take into every season. Number one, to help, encourage, and support your child and their teammates learning the fundamentals of the sport. Number two, to make new friends. Number three, to experience the thrill of participating. Number four, to learn about teamwork, good sportsmanship, and respecting coaches, officials, and opponents. And number five is to have fun. If your child wants to return to play again next season, you'll know these goals have been met. I'll bet you can recall your youth sports experiences and what made them special to you. And if you played the sport for many years, all the fun that you had along the way during practices and at games. Plus, all those important life skills you learned through those experiences that continue to impact your life today. Youth sports at its very essence is a recreational activity, and the purpose is to have fun. If you look at the sports psychology research on why children participate in a sport, the number one motive is to have fun. Conversely, a staggering 70% of children quit the sport by the age of 13, and the number one reason cited for calling it quits is that it's no longer fun to them. There are lots of factors that can lead to a child no longer enjoying a sport, but one often pointed to is overzealous parents putting enormous pressure on their children to succeed. Sometimes parents have a tendency to live vicariously through their children, which can lead to a multitude of problems. Remember, this is your child, and this is their journey. Your job is to expose them to opportunities and support them along the way, not harbor dreams of athletic scholarships and professional contracts by placing unrealistic expectations on them that lead to stress, burnout, and quitting. So what can you as a parent and important member of your community's youth sports program do to help make sports more enjoyable for everyone involved? Let's take a look at what we've got. Of course, we have the kids, which should always be the number one focus. They show up on the fields, courts, and rinks to play and have fun. we have the coaches who have volunteered to take on this complex, challenging, and rewarding role of leading the team. It's a big job, and they'll need help along the way. Your child's coach will be looking to help all the children learn and develop the skills and confidence needed to play and enjoy the sport. In many ways, where children practice and play games is an extension of the classroom. In this case, coaches are the teachers. Your behavior as a parent must be respectful of that classroom. This means showing respect for coaches and officials. Let the coaches coach. Let the officials officiate. Your role, and it's such an important one, is to show your support through positive, encouraging comments to players on both teams. That's right, both teams. After all, young athletes look for and need positive reinforcement for their efforts, regardless of which team they're on. If you set that example, think about how great your child will feel to hear a positive comment from another parent after their performance or hustle. Remember, these are kids out here. They're not miniature adults. They're going to make mistakes. That's part of the learning process. So go easy on them and fight the urge to criticize. Always be mindful of the fact that the coaches are trying to do their best and make sure that every child has the best experience possible. You certainly have the right to voice your opinion or complaint, but it's not appropriate to discuss your concerns at practices or at the games. The coach's focus and responsibility is with the players. The time to address your concerns is in private with the coach at a time that is convenient for both of you. After all, you wouldn't disrupt a classroom to approach a teacher. Instead, you request a parent-teacher conference when the class is not in session. The same goes for your league. Learn the league's complaint policies and procedures now, and it may come in handy in the future. Remember, too, that your coaches are attempting to help every player realize his or her potential to learn the plays, to develop skills, and to experience success. This is a key objective of the program. Now, for some of you, this is definitely going to test your restraint because in some cases, you may have more experience than your child's coach. Maybe you were an accomplished athlete who played in more competitive games. But remember, that was your turn in sports. Now, it's your child's turn. As adults, we must learn that there's a big difference between children's games played at an early age and the more competitive sports we may have played later in high school, college, or even professionally. By remembering the differences, you'll be better equipped to understand the goals of youth sports and keep it all in proper perspective for the kids who we are all here to help. Playing time. It's an important thing for everyone, and it would be great if every player could play every minute of every game. But because of the large number of players on most teams, this is just not possible. We encourage our coaches to make every effort to equalize the playing time of each member of the team. Sometimes that may mean playing a less talented player in a close game, but that's all part of learning too. Coaches, players, and parents need to learn together and accept that being a team member, winning and losing are all part of the sports experience. It's a shame when parents are the people the least capable of accepting the total scope of a youth sports experience. When adults' emotions get out of hand and when winning overshadows everything, parents ruin the fun for everyone. Now that we're in agreement on what we don't want, let's talk about some of the ways you can help everyone by being a model league parent. First, get interested in your child's sport. Learn something about its lore and its history and its finer points. Feed your child's interest without getting pushy and without living your sports experience vicariously through your child. Second, be realistic. At this point, it's important for them to simply be involved. Talk of being a starter on the high school team in a few years, or winning a college athletic scholarship, or paying for your retirement with a fat bonus check they'll sign on a pro contract in another 15 years. It has no place in youth sports, not even as a joke. Remember, your kids can take everything to heart, including your expectations. Third, make an effort to get your child to practice on time. It's hard enough to teach everything the team needs to know as a group for the upcoming game. When players miss practices, it puts the whole team at a disadvantage. Fourth, don't undermine your coaches by shouting instructions from the bleachers or suggesting a better way of doing things. If you're interested in being a volunteer coach, programs are always looking for moms and dads to step forward and coach a team. Otherwise, mixed instructions only confuse your son or daughter and will also interfere with their skill development and their sense of team play. You can best help your child by watching how the coaches teach skills in practice and practice those skills with your child at home. It will be fun for both of you, and it'll give you a better appreciation of how tough it can be to master some of those skills. Number 5, make it a point to learn the rules of your child's sport. Not only will you have a better appreciation for the game, but you won't be frustrated over not knowing what's going on out there. At the same time, learn your team's rules and support their coach even if their enforcement affects your child. 6, if you have a problem with the coach's rules or regulations, don't gripe about them. That can only serve to undermine the team morale. If you do have a problem, talk to the coach, again, away from practice, games, and certainly away from the players. If you still have a problem, consult a league official. 7, make sure you let the coach know if your child won't be able to attend a practice or game. The coaches care about your child and their team, and they don't want to leave anything to chance. Coaches will always expect a player to be at the practice and the games unless you inform them otherwise. 8, pay attention to what your child eats before practices and games. Carbohydrates are easily digested, so whole wheat breads, pastas, soups, fruits, or yogurt about an hour and a half before the activity are recommended, if at all possible. Number 9, learn the league policy of transporting children to and from practices and games. Coaches have families and commitments too, and they can't be responsible for supervising your child until you get around to picking him or her up. 10, be a supportive role model by refraining from alcohol or tobacco during practices, games, and also at those team parties. Remember, this is your child's classroom. 11, participate in team activities whenever possible and be a super fan by cheering on both teams. It will double your fun. And 12, remember that your child's coach is just like you, except that he or she has volunteered a great deal of time and effort to work with your children. Your coaches are not professionals. They're experiencing on-the-job training and want to do their very best to provide excitement, fun, and skill development so that your children will want to stay involved in sports. They need and deserve your support and appreciation. It's not an easy job, and we are grateful that these dedicated folks have accepted the invitation to serve our league as coaches. You can show your appreciation and your support by making the commitment to fulfill your individual responsibilities to the league, coaches, and most importantly, your child. By participating with your child in Start Smart, you have already taken the first step towards helping ensure a healthy and enjoyable sports experience for you and your child. Start Smart sessions will not only teach your child motor skills, but also teamwork, communication, cooperation, respect, and so much more that will contribute to their growth and development. This is such a special time in your child's life, so thank you for doing your part to make it a fun-filled and memorable journey.